What's up everyone, my name is Andrew Fung. So today I'll be showing you how you can create a dynamic HTML ranking table with just HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and a little bit of jQuery. So as you can see now, the table is dynamic based on the 24 hours percentage change of the cryptocurrency. So the reason why I'm creating this HTML and JavaScript project is because lately I've been doing a lot of Python programming, so I thought it would be a cool idea to switch it up. And yesterday, as you can tell, the cryptocurrency world has experienced a downward trend of momentum, and a lot of coins are actually down big. So I thought it would be a cool idea to visualize maybe which coins are actually the most resistant to market fluctuations. So without further ado, let's get started. So for the styling of this HTML table, we'll be using Bulma as a CSS framework to make everything look nice. And we'll be heading over to the table column and create a table looking like this. And for the cryptocurrency API, we'll be using CoinGecko. So for those who don't know, CoinGecko is actually a free API service which you don't even need an API key to call to extract data from this API. So let's get started. And you see a lot of commands that you can type in to access the API. For example, you can just get the simple price, get the list of coins that are provided by CoinGecko, the markets, and for each coin you can check the history, the market chart, and also the status update. And there are also a lot of API endpoints which you can fully utilize, but for this tutorial we'll be sticking to the coins endpoint. So you may ask, how do we actually call the API? So it's very simple. You can just do API coin.gecko and then API v3 coins, and then set the currency to be US dollar, so that every data or every data entry will be in US dollar. And you may see it may seem very daunting now to see a bunch of data, but it's actually called a JSON response. So when you command A, copy all of that and then put it inside a JSON pretty print, you can make it to be pretty, and you can just see it is actually a list of objects. You may call it JavaScript objects. For example, if we take a look at the first item, it is Bitcoin. We have the symbol, name, the image, the current price. And the most important attribute that we are concerned with is the market cap change percentage, which signals whether this cryptocurrency Bitcoin is actually dropping in value, and the percentage. So we'll be ranking different cryptocurrencies based on the market cap change in the last 24 hours. And we will also need a jQuery, and which we need to reference this link to be able to use jQuery inside HTML. So without further ado, let's get started. So in this project, I'll be using the Visual Studio Code as a editor. For those who haven't installed Visual Studio Code in their computer, please head over to my description box and install it through that link. And so let's create a new file, save it first. We'll create it, we'll name it as leaderboard.html. So inside Visual Studio Code, you can actually type the exclamation mark, and using the amit abbreviation, it will create a sample HTML template for you. So we can name this to be a live crypto demo, and we will need to use a style to be able to use Bulma as a CSS framework, we need to go ahead and go to Overview, Documentation, Overview, and Start. We just need to copy this line, HTML link, copy, and then paste it here. So we'll be able to access the Bulkma CSS. Yep. So let's go ahead and create a simple table first. So create table here. Let's do table, and then we need to name it the class to be table for Bulkma to recognize it to be a table object and apply CSS to it. Set it to is narrow, and then is hoverable, so that we can see the effect for each row when we hover over it. And we can set the ID to be leaderboard. And let's take care of the header row, which is t-head, table head. We need a header row, which is tr. And there will be multiple headers, so we need a lot of th, table headers. And for each header, for example, we will need rank, name. So instead of typing everything out, we can just do Option, Shift, and then press the downward key for how many times that we need to copy it. So we can do this. Rank, name, symbol of the coin, price in US dollar, market cap, circulating supply, volume change in the 24 hours. And let's do one more, which is the main thing, which is the 24-hour percentage change. And let's give every header a class of their own. And you can press the Option key to do it to multiple lines. So let's get class equals. And for the first one, it will be rank, name, symbol, price, market cap, circulating supply, volume in 24 hours, and then percentage change 24 hours. Okay, and for the rank, we can add a abbreviation, which is position, so that there will be a nice underline for the rank, and we have to put it inside the tag of abbreviation as well. And that would do for the header row. So let's take a look and see if it works. To serve online, we can just go ahead to the extension inside VS Code, and you can install the live server. So I've already installed it. And after that, you can just do Command Shift P to open the commands palette, and then do live server. So it will now open with the live server. So let's click this, and it will create a live server for your HTML file. And we don't want to visualize the result using Safari, so we can go ahead to Chrome. Let's paste it here. Okay, so you can see we have successfully created the table header. And to check these elements, we can just open the inspector for developer, so which is Command Option I, and then we can see the HTML and the CSS inside it. Let's go back to our HTML file, and we now need to create a body table, but t body tag. So we now need to create a t body tag for the table content, and let's name the ID to be cryptocurrencies, so that every rows means a new cryptocurrency item. Okay. And for now, we need to first load in the JQuery script so that we can use JQuery inside this HTML file. So let's do that by script, and the source will be the link that we just saw, which is this one, and then set the type to be text/JavaScript. Okay, so we are now able to use jQuery now. And for the main script, it will be started here. And the whole thing will be written in JavaScript, so we don't need to do anything about it. And let's first fetch the cryptocurrency data and store it inside the variable, which is called data. Variable called data. And we will use XML HTTP request, and then use this link for the data. So let's do that now. Let's do variable xh request equals new XML HTTP request. Okay, and then x request dot open. The first argument will be what type of request, which is get request. Second argument will be the URL, which is this one. And then set it equals to false. Send the request. And then let's store it inside data variable, the variable data JSON. So the whole thing, the response we get here is a JSON file. So we need to parse it and turn it into a JavaScript object, which is request dot response text. So let's console.log so to see if we have correctly get data. Let's save it, and live reload should be here. Let's go to console, and there we go. We get at 100 cryptocurrencies and their data. So for the first one, we can just take a look at the first one, which is Bitcoin. So the whole list will be according to their market capital and market cap. So the larger and the most popular coins will appear first in the list. So one thing is to bear in mind is that this is not random. So we can see we get a Bitcoin object here. So we need probably the name, the symbol, and also the price change in 24 hours, and the current price, circulating supply, total volume, etc. So we can fetch the data one by one. So let's go ahead and create a JavaScript function which create an array of JavaScript objects or cryptocurrency objects which only includes the attributes that we need, which is here, name, symbol, price, market cap, etc. So we can do that by function. Let's give it a name, reset bot. And let's initialize the cryptocurrencies array to be empty. And then for let I equals 0, so basically a for loop. And we want probably, let's do maybe the first 10 cryptocurrencies as a starting point, I++. And then in the cryptocurrencies, we push the objects inside the cryptocurrency array. So the cryptocurrencies will be an array of objects. Let's do a name equals data, which is here, data dot I dot name. That will be similar to all the others, so we can just do copy as well. For another for loop, which is now to display the list of cryptocurrencies on the table that we just created as the cryptocurrencies. So for variable I equals 0, and then I smaller than cryptocurrencies dot length, and then I++. So let's actually create an item, and which will have a $sign in signaling it's a jQuery. $sign. And inside the variable item, we'll put in the CSS, but now we should think about it. So inside T body, we will need obviously a row for each cryptocurrency. We need a row, and we need the data, which we can get using cryptocurrency I dot name, symbol, etc. So let's do that now. So we need a tag, which is table row. Set the class to be rank. Set the class to be cryptocurrency, singular form. And then plus. So it's just string concatenation. And the next thing we will need will be the header, th, which is the class of rank. And then how do we access rank? So that will be just simply I, which is here. We start with I equals 0, so it's actually I plus 1. So the first item will be 1, and then etc. So everything is shifted by 1. Then plus the closing tag of th. And then plus. So the main thing will be the data that we need. So each actually data row, and class will be name, starting with name, equals name and plus. So we get the item using cryptocurrency dot I, and then dot the name, which is here, yeah, plus closing tag of td. Let's copy it down. Symbol, and then let's close out the row. So hopefully that will do. And let's stop this. And inside cryptocurrency, and then after it, we have to create cryptocurrencies dot I dot item equals the new item that we just put in. So it's updating. And then, oh, I forgot to initialize the list, which is a variable. We can set it to list, which equals to, and we are concerned with the table body with the ID of cryptocurrency. So for IDs, we need to do hash and then currencies, so that it gets the list of all the items here. And then inside list, let's do list.find. And then we have named it to be cryptocurrency, right? So let's find all the data with that class of cryptocurrency. So for classes, we need to do dot cryptocurrency, and then we have to remove it, because every time we update it, we have to remove all the CSS and all the items that are within the list, so we can put in new data to replace it. And we also need to initialize some variables, which will help us to refresh the HTML table. So let's do initialization, which is variable cryptocurrencies, which we've defined it here so that it's a global variable. And variable timer ID, and the variable update interval. So for update interval, it will be mentioned later on, but let's just initialize it first so that our script knows they exist. So after we do we set the cryptocurrency item equals to a new item that we have just defined, we have to append to the list so that every item can be listed out to the item list. So now we will take care of the style of the table. So let's do style, and we are not using external style sheet, so we just put everything inside here. It's not the best practice, but for this case we have minimal CSS, so we just put everything here. So, and our table is class table, and then we can change the background color to be FFE08A, which is a yellow, quite yellow, and inside dot table t head t-hat and th. You can set the color to be and rank. Width will be 60 pixels. So we have to do it for every column. So we can copy this. Name will be 200, since some of the names are quite long if we consider everything. Name symbol. Price. Market cap. Circulating supply, which is here. Volume 24 hours. And also percentage change. $100. 140. 170. Market cap will be quite huge, 150. Price, let's set it to 100 for now. And symbol to be 80. And then that should do it. So everything looks quite nice now. It drops, the US dollar drops because of space, so we can just cross it out. Let's see. Yep, everything is on top. So I think I've missed out on the closing tags, so let me just put it here. Do it for every attribute. Then let's close it out. Nice. And then we have to call the function outside the script, which is resetBoard. And let's see if it works. Okay, so it works, but it looks very terrible as you can see. So now we have to add another one, CSS element, which is table t-body, and then set it equals to, simply set the background color to be just white. Yep, hopefully it looks better. Nice. Okay, so we have the table now, and we also have different the rank is not according to the 24-hour percentage change, but it's instead so the ranking is not actually based on the 24 hours percentage change, but rather the market cap. So as you can see, Bitcoin has larger market cap than every other cryptocurrency, so it should place top, but not according to that 24 hours change. So we actually want them to be in order of their ascending 24 hours percentage change. So how do we do that? We can just so we can do a function which is descending, and comparing A and B. So for we will return A's percentage percentage change of 24 hours. If it is smaller than B dot percentage change, then we will return B. If not, we return the other one. And we can also make a ascending order function here, and which it's just the change between smaller and larger sign. Okay, so and we also want the resetBoard to be called for each set interval. So in here we have initialized the update interval. So for example, we want everything to be changed in maybe 2 seconds. So it's 2000 millisecond here. And for it to be changed, we have to call this function here. So let's do timer. So here is fetch the new data for every update interval. So it's basically timer ID equals set interval. And then the function that we will call is maybe we need a new function called get new data. And then the time that we want it to be updated, which is 2 seconds. And on top of the reset board, we have to do if the timer ID is not equals to if the timer ID is not equals to undefined, and then which will clear the interval. Timer ID. So it will do that every time it gets updated. And we need the new data function. Let's create the function get new data. And for get new data, we actually need to get the new data for each cryptocurrency coin and change to the new values, change their new values. Okay, so for now, we just to show that it works, let's do console log. I am refreshing and see if there's any inputs. So you can see every 2 seconds the whole function is getting new data, but it's only printing out the I'm refreshing line. So the whole thing works. And to talk about the animation is simply one attribute inside the CSS styling. It's not that fancy actually. Leaderboard, which is here. The table is with the ID of leaderboard, and then cryptocurrencies. And for each row, let's set the display to be in terms of blocks. Clear both. Position to be absolute so that we can push the rows up and down instead of fixed. And let's also create a mocks transition animation. Mocks transition duration to be probably 1 second. And then WebKit animation duration to be 1 second. And also MS transition duration to be 1 second as well. So now we need 2 other functions to essentially update the rank and also change their CSS so that the rows can actually go up and down. So the first one will be the function called reposition, which will take in the height set the variable height to be a jQuery object, and then extract the cryptocurrencies, and then dot cryptocurrency. So for each cryptocurrency, we get the height of that row. Set a variable y to be the height for each row, and let's do a for loop. Variable I equals 0, and I smaller than cryptocurrency dot length, and I plus plus. So for each cryptocurrency, which is cryptocurrency I, let's do the item.css, and the top will be y plus apx, and let's bear with me for now. Y plus equals height. So what this reposition function is doing, it's actually getting the height of each row. And for each row, it will append y, and essentially y will be passed to top. So we are actually laying out the table one by one. So for every item, it will add the row height to it, so that we can actually deal with the animation later on. And the next function will be a function called a update rank. So it will take in the cryptocurrency object, and then we can copy this line, which is a for loop for every item in cryptocurrencies. We can do cryptocurrency.item, and then find their rank. The rank is a class, so it's .rank. And then let's put in the text to be I plus 1. Okay, so after each for each reset bot that is called, we can update the list of items and also sort the board using the function that we just created. So it's cryptocurrencies dot sort descending, and then update the ranks of the cryptocurrency array, and then reposition everything. So let's see if it works. So as you can see, the table is organized in descending order of their percentage change. So only Tether is have a positive change, and other cryptocurrencies have negative percentage. So they're dropping in value. And for get data, let's visualize the animation result using get data. So for the animation to work, we actually need to append new values to the class of percentage change 24 hours, so that everything can just refresh themselves and the animation will pop up. So let's define two new functions just for testing only. Get random between the minimum and the max. So essentially it's returning math.floor, so the smaller one, math.random times max or plus minimum. And the next one will be function get random score increase, which will append increase which will append to the list of cryptocurrencies and push it to the percentage change of 24 hours. So we are stuffing random values to this table to see if it refreshes itself. So get score random score increase will be our return. Get random between maybe 10 and 20. See if this works. And for get new data, we have to loop through all the cryptocurrency and then plug in random values to it. So we can do that by for a for loop for every item inside cryptocurrency. Let's get the currency first. Cryptocurrency equals cryptocurrencies .i. So let's change the cryptocurrency attributes. Cryptocurrency percentage change 24 hours plus equals to itself, and let's just get a random score increase. Okay, and then we update the CSS, update the value base using cryptocurrency dot item currency dot item dot find dot percentage change 24 hours. 24 hours. Let's change the text to be cryptocurrency, which is this one. So that will be the new value. And then after it, let's just sort everything out. And we can just copy this 3 lines, sort the cryptocurrencies, update the rank, and reposition everything. Okay, so let's see if it works. So it's updating the values, but there is an animation, so maybe something is wrong with the animation. Oh, okay, so here shouldn't be animation, should be transition and duration. So let's see if it works. So yeah, the animation works now, and you see this values that we don't actually want. So, and we don't actually need the whole decimal places inside circling supply. So let's round it off here. So let's do math dot round supply, and you can also see the volume has a space in between. So let's just do just cross it out, and let's also display more data to see if the animation has any issues. Let's do 25. So as you can see, the animation works perfectly fine, and just the last item EOS will not have a borderline because it's the last item, but essentially the whole thing is updating itself. So cool. So now we can now move on to the actual function for getting new data, which we will also need a new request. So in the last part, we get the request here. We get the new data. So for every update interval seconds, which is now for every 2 seconds, the get new data will be run. This function will be run. So it will call the API and then get new data. So we can just do new request and then change it here and set it to new data. And we also can define a function here, which instead of getting the new random score increase for testing, we can just comment this line out and then do cryptocurrency.percentage change will equal a function that we will use to fetch data. So essentially it's new data. And then for new data, we will loop through the cryptocurrencies list, and then if it matches the cryptocurrency.name, then it will return the new percentage change of the 24 hours. So we will need the new data as an input, the field name that we're concerned with. So it should be percentage change to 24 hours. And then the last one will be using the current cryptocurrency ID or maybe the name as an identifier. So let's wrap this whole thing up and create a new function called fetch. Fetch new data. So let's define the function here now. Fetch new data, which will take in the data, the attribute name, and also the name of the cryptocurrencies. So inside fetching new data, we will first need to define loop through the data. So variable x in data, we will search it one by one. If the data x, so for each item in x, we test if the cryptocurrency name is equal to the name that we have just inputted, equals true, or you just can just omit this line. Return data x, and then it will be attribute.name, and if it doesn't find it, so we can return null. So I guess this shouldn't be percentage. This should be market cap change percentage 24 hours. So yeah, let's see if this works. So as you can see, it is actually fetching data from here. I'm refreshing here. So the reason that it doesn't update is because CoinGecko, the API that we are using, only updates its API every 30 seconds. So not everything is updated in real time. So one improvement that you can make is to find one API service that is happening in real time, that updates their data in real time. Then you can see the changes and the takeover animation that, yeah, so it just happened now. So the whole thing works. And if you want to display more data and to make sure that you are matching the update interval for CoinGecko, you can change this to 30K. And instead of just changing the percentage of the 24 hours, we can also change this to be price. We can just also update the price in real time, but it won't affect the ranking animation. So we can just do current price, and then price item dot price just equal to this one, which is price, and the total volume also changes, so it should be volume 24 hours. That will be total volume, and let's find volume 24 hours and changes to. So the prices, the volume of the last 24 hours, and the percentage change will also change inside the CSS. So you can visualize the result now. And we can change this line to be successfully fetched new data. So please bear in mind that this web app is definitely not a finalized project, as you can make a couple of improvements to make it smoother and also more dynamic. And the one possible improvement that I can make is to use another API. So probably not a free API, but I assume that Crypto Compare has an API that isn't free, but if you have the API key, then you can just fetch the data in real time. So instead of waiting for 30 minutes for an animation to possibly update, you can just use the Crypto API and fetches the 24 hours price changes in real time. So every 2 seconds there will be an animation happening inside the HTML board. And also I shouldn't be putting everything, the JavaScript, the jQuery code, and also the styling of the CSS inside the HTML file. However, it is just a simple tutorial, so I thought it will suffice. And you guys can feel free to take this project to the next level. This is by no means a finalized project. You can actually make this to be a production-ready web application using node.js. So you can also make this HTML ranking table to be more dynamic by using user input and also user-friendly specifications, such as if they want to visualize the top 100 price changing of the cryptocurrencies, then they can the table would dynamically change it to 100 and ascending and descending order of their price changes as well. So I thought it would be a cool idea to show you guys how you can make this simple ranking table animations to visualize the things that you're concerned with. And if you guys like this tutorial and would like me to do more applications that maybe includes data visualizations and maybe in different languages as well except Python, so I can also make this tutorial list as well. So thank you guys for watching and see you in the next video. Bye guys.